Well, we're here, Nance. We're live.
We're live.
So I'm John, of course, and
I'm Nancy.
we're Jay and N Travels.
We are Jay and N Travel.
And this is our afternoon chat. And it looks like a start. It always starts out foggy for some reason.
Oh, well.
The picture, hopefully, it will clear itself up.
Well, I'm a little foggy. I work till 3 a.m. I'm a little foggy today.
Nancy didn't get home till 4, and I waited up for her, and we did not get to bed till 5.
Yeah, so I'm kind of tired, but I don't do that often.
No, we didn't.
Yes.
So this is our informal afternoon chat. I try and grab some stuff the night before from the news that we can talk about. Your input keeps the show going, so hopefully you'll have something to say on these issues. In the house right now, the first one in was Fisher Fun Ventures. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, Fisher Fun Ventures.
And welcome, Nautical Nurse Nancy, who's probably packing as she
Naughty Nancy is going away again. That's fantastic.
It is. Sounds like a lot of fun. I was listening to her live last night and about the trip. She was getting all her drinks in order for the show.
I'm with you, Nancy. I really like pina coladas. Those are yummy.
And let's see. I love it when John calls you Nance.
Who
That's
said
my
that?
nickname. That's Nautical Nurse.
Oh, he called it. Does Anthony ever call you Nance? Or you're strictly Nancy?
Welcome, Cruise World. Actually, I think yet top here, the first one in the house here. Fisher
I bet Anthony calls you naughty. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
No, I think a lot of other people do, but not. Welcome, Brian NASCAR in 22.
Hi, Brian.
Who's I think he's a Massachusetts guy.
Yeah,
not a New Hampshire, right?
He's a Massachusetts guy. Thank you for coming in. Chat.
Yeah, and the one thing I was listening finally, Nancy, to your live at work. Usually I have to listen to it on the way in because I was working second shift. And the one thing I wanted to comment on is it's funny, Anthony's favorites are banana drinks. And I just, as Nancy could tell you, absolutely love anything banana flavored.
Yeah. Who's this in the house? I'm not going to pronounce it right, but
Adiba.
I like that.
Okay. So why don't I start with the news that we have, and hopefully you guys can interject some stuff into it. All right. First thing is MSC Magnifica returns to service in Europe. So finally some positive cruise industry news. It departed Genoa on her return to sailing. The vessel became the second MSC ship to welcome guests back on board since the cruise line restarted operations in August. This is the second ship to implement the comprehensive MSC health and safety, which they think is going to be the big turning point in America, is MSC's efforts.
MSC's efforts, okay.
Yeah. Still knows it. Is the picture blurry to everyone else too out there? I'm noticing on my other screen it's blurry, and usually it straightens out after a while. So
Adiba said she is a Pakistani living in China. Did I say that right?
Let's see.
She's
Pakistani living in China.
She's a Pakistani living in China. Wow. I would love to visit China someday. That must be I would love it.
Answer to your question, yeah, Anthony sometimes calls her Nance. He calls me naughty.
Oh, well, you have a good marriage, Nancy.
That's funny. Let's see. Yay for MSC, so again, Ada.
Okay, Journey Awaits is here.
Yesterday, your comment, my daughter's video. Okay, so we're on her daughter's
she's working, yesterday. So you guys, what is
Welcome to Journey Awaits.
Yeah, she said, hello, everyone, I'm working.
Okay.
So you guys talk and I will listen. Oh, okay.
We will.
Thank you for listening.
Okay, so the next piece of news, hopefully most of this news could be positive, but who knows? Okay, new COVID testing options were rolled out at pre-departure rapid testing facility at Heathrow Airport. The testing facilities, a UK first, is described by officials as a critical step in the recovery of the aviation sector. They need to restore the confidence with the traveler. They need to open routes from the UK to the rest of the world. So their first attempt is to have this testing done at the airport very quick. And I think this test takes, the test includes LAMP and antigen test, which I have no idea what those are. Yeah, it must be a LAMP that
Oh, is that the UV?
Yeah, it must be the UV
That
or
must be the
something.
UV.
Well, I'm not sure
I
how.
don't know.
But they take the test at the airport, and they're done in less than an hour.
Oh, wow, that's quick.
The downside, though, and to me this seems like a big downside, is the tests are less accurate
Oh, well, that's not
than the
good.
more sensitive RT-PCR options. So if you know what those are, I don't.
I don't know. Adiba said we were a beautiful couple. Thank you, Adiba.
Thank you, Adiba.
And you commented on her daughter? What was that about?
No, I guess I was on her daughter's live yesterday.
Oh, you were on, your daughter has a live. That's good. That's great. I'll have to catch it next time.
The only one I think that I catch, in case I missed them, I thought I said how you doing, but Cruise World, welcome again. Thank you for joining us again.
Oh, Cruise World, yes. Thank you for joining us on this lovely afternoon. It's nice out here in New Hampshire.
Third story.
But going back to the lamp, because didn't they say something about a UV light can kill some of the germs?
Well, we were listening to something about MSC, and they were putting in a new system that would kill germs in the air, and done with lights and filters and different things. So I'm not sure.
They're trying all new things, and they're working on it. I hope we get rid of this virus. It's been way too long.
It has been way too long. Cruising in the new normal. Now, most of you are familiar with these, so I'll run through them real quick. But this is basically the theory that this will all be standard in the new normal, especially on cruise ship, for quite a while. Limited capacity, which we know now that cruises are going out with less, a lot of them with less than 50%, and also limited capacity in the different clubs and theaters and stuff like that. So very limited. Enhanced health screening, which will be, they claim they're going to be taking temperatures everywhere to get into the restaurant, to get into the club, anywhere you go. Face mask requirement. And there's been some theories that people aren't too happy with, that some of these may have to be worn outside now. The first initial thing was face masks just inside. Oh. But they're talking possibly having to wear it outside on cruise ships also. Oh. Physical distancing protocol. So there'll be floor markers everywhere, spaced out, plexiglass barriers, stuff like that. Staggered boarding, which we've all heard about, and that would be great. That's one positive. So when they give you time, you get there and you walk right on. You don't have to wait in these long lines. A new way buffet, same thing. If they have the buffet at all, someone would be serving you. Mm-hmm. Additional hand washing, sanitizing stations, which I think we're seeing everywhere now. Yeah. Reduced shore excursions, and that'd be more of the bubble where we've already heard the 2 instances that people have violated, where they have you have to go on an excursion with the group from the cruise ship. Stay with the group. If you veer off, you're gonna they're not gonna allow you back on the cruise ship. Right, and they had a family do it a couple of weeks ago, and they kicked them off. And I want to say yesterday, or at least the news came out yesterday, that there was a lone person who joined an excursion and snuck away from the excursion. I want to say it was is it Anita? I'm not sure if that's a cruise line. Aida. Aida. Yeah. Okay. And they kicked him off. Wow. Wouldn't let him back on the cruise ship. I don't know why people want to take a chance. Right. Yeah. I agree. And the virtual muster drills, which is a huge positive. Adiba said her daughter's only 2 years old. Okay, sorry. I thought she had a channel. Okay. Enjoy your... So I guess your daughter wasn't the one put together. Unless she's very talented. She could be a savant, right? I guess, yeah. We have weekend RVing.
Hello,
thank you for joining us. RVing. Oh. Hey, kids are smart nowadays. They know more about computers than we do than us old folks. It's probably not that far-fetched.
Yeah, she could be running her own channel.
The next one, I guess, is our first bad news item. Are there any Disney? I don't notice any real huge Disneyland fans out there. No, I don't see anyone's huge Disneyland. Actually, I probably should save the Disneyland one to the end in case anyone pops in from that. So I'll skip that from now. Okay, need help with a phone or computer, ask a kid. Yeah,
yeah, that's true. Oh my gosh,
that's pretty sad to say, but you're right.
Sad to say.
But the problem on the other end is they can't live without the phones.
I know.
So you get the other way around.
Well, at work, anytime something goes wrong with the computer, I always ask the 20-year-olds. They fix stuff.
That's true.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, Yeah, one of my coworkers, we call him the IT guy.
He's a 20-year-old?
He's a 20-year-old, yeah.
So that will do it.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome in beautiful Fetching Rose.
Hello, beautiful Fetching Rose. How are you today?
Another site you guys should go over, take a peek at.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one, I'm going to skip the Disneyland one right now until hopefully I get some Disneyland people in here. This is from the rumor mill, okay? Take this with a huge grain of salt. And I probably shouldn't go into big detail because I don't know how true it is, but supposedly that some of the positive virus tests on MSC ships have been, happening but not been being reported because I guess there's some kind of a rule over there that they don't have to report it. Jeez. To the general public. And the only reason they know is a captain or someone leaked it out on the ship that there was a positive one. So that's something to keep an eye on. Hopefully that's not true or they'll nip it in the butt. But,
if those things keep happening, this virus is never going to be eradicated.
Yeah, I know. That's the funny thing. As the football with the positive, it's a weird thing in the NFL. The Patriots, I know most of you hate them, but NASCAR, you probably
NASCAR's from Massachusetts, right. So
have been getting positive tests left and right, and they're still making them play because of some kind of little clause. I can see why the players are getting a little upset. With the safety. There's some clause that if they think you got it from the same source as the other people that have it, then you just play. That the only time they're going to postpone games if it's from a new source. This is
it. People are making their own rules as they go along.
They can do that.
Yeah, people. Yeah, well.
So it's scary.
It is scary. I mean, I certainly don't want to get it, but I guess you can't live your life with your head in the sand. You just got to try to protect yourself as much as you can.
Right. And if a little reminder, if you guys give a thumbs up and for us, if you haven't already, thank you. So that's a rumor with MSC. Let's hope that one's not true because, like I said, take that with a huge grain of salt.
Yeah,
I've only gotten that news from a couple sources.
That could be fake news.
Yeah. I know it could be because rumors are always popping up everywhere.
They're all popping everywhere. Right?
The other one we're waiting to hear, of course, is the Carnival.
Yeah.
The Carnival cruise now is in trouble again. There's a judge right now that has suspended all their cruising until they fix problems with the pollution, and so we'll wait and see what happens with that. They're waiting to talk to the judge and see if they can get it shortened. It's basically that they have to let them know. The judge knows 60 days in advance if they're going to go out. None of these problems have been fixed, even though they've had plenty of time to do it. So that's another thing we're watching is whatever happens with the judge. Oh, welcome in Monarch Moments.
Oh, hello, Monarch Moments.
So that one and Monarch. I don't know if it's
Garrett
or Michelle, but I saved this for you guys, which you probably already heard because you're big Disneyland people. There's trouble in paradise again out in California.
Trouble in paradise.
Well, I guess the governor of California sent a little surprise group around Disney World in Florida theme parks to find out if they could be safely done.
Okay.
And I'll just read this thing. California just released its theme park guidance for reopening. And they came back with this information. It doesn't look great news for Disneyland, Universal Studios Hollywood, and other large parks. During the press conference, California Health and Human Services Secretary Dr. Mark Gilley announced that the smaller parks can open when the country is in the state's orange tier. And you know it was orange tier. I thought it was red.
I didn't.
Whatever the orange tier is, which is when the number are fewer than 4 per 100,000. Boy, that doesn't seem like many. There are currently a handful of counties in this tier. The state's largest park, Disneyland Resort, Knott's Berry Farm, and Universal, however, are in counties with widespread with substantial spread of the virus. Once the counties enter the appropriate tier, they still are under huge restricted guidelines for reopening. All the theme parks may only open with 25% capacity.
Wow.
They must have a reservation system and screen guests for symptoms in advance, and face coverings will be required at all times. So for you Disneyland fans, I think we still have to wait. I mean, they get really, I don't know anything about this governor, but he is afraid.
So Adiba has to leave. So I want to thank you for joining us, Adiba. And yes, we will catch your channel. Thank you again for joining us.
Yeah.
And Monarch Moments said it was Governor Nuisance.
Yeah, well, that's what he's going to put up there. Governor Nuisance. That's what I should call him.
I like that.
I don't think I had to know what the governor's name was on it. Yeah, but we'll go Governor Nuisance.
Yeah.
Boy, but geez, they've already laid off 28,000 people. Can you imagine these people over there? You talk about jobs with the cruise lines and these theme parks must be getting killed with it. All right. So the next one is, if you've been hoping to go to Canada or Mexico, you're gonna have to wait a little while longer. They've extended the shutdown of the borders. These are the borders to drive into Mexico or to drive into Canada.
Well, we know people who are flying
or vice versa. So it's not like people can come down cruises even if they were having them. The Canadian border will remain closed for another 30 days. Public Safety Minister Bill Blair put out a short notice on Twitter on Monday to say that the Liberal government is extending non-essential travel restrictions with the United States until November 21st, 2020. Now, that's basically going from Canada to here. I'm assuming that's both ways, so. Okay. Let's see. They are red tier and need to get to yellow. Wow. Okay, so it sounded like this article, if they got to orange, which I don't know if orange is, I imagine is above yellow, they can open up at 25%.
Get to yellow, crazy, wow. And also he said,
he's a scumbag, slimy guy, doesn't care about health, but it does help forcing wearing.
Wow.
Anti-mask virus is no joke. No, you're right.
No, it isn't.
You're right.
I know I hear people saying, oh, it's no worse than the flu, but I disagree with that.
Well, you don't hear a lot of people saying that anymore, though.
No, well, that's probably true.
That's how it started.
I guess it did start that way. Yeah, you're right.
The next news item, and Tyler, who pops in usually, I think, went to this fun spot in Orlando. I'm curious to get his firsthand on this, but basically, fun spot in Orlando has failed for the third time in the compliance test.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
3 times. Oh, I guess 3 times and you're out, right?
I mean, geez, you talk about Carnival not having their head up their butt. Geez, how many times you have to? So I guess the first one, let's see, back in August, they failed because the guests weren't wearing masks. They weren't enforcing it.
Wow.
And then they failed the second time on September 3rd.
Yeah.
And then they just
failed again
on September. Well, was it September, I guess, unless it's October. That can't be October. So it must be September 25th. They still were, they do these surprise tests, I guess, and they go in, and they went in again, and they weren't enforcing people to mask up. They could be in funds. Keep that in mind if you go.
It's not fun.
That's right.
They're calling it virus spot now.
Yeah, I know. Right. Does anyone know, have anyone heard of a group called the Flaming Lips?
Oh my gosh.
It's a rock group, I guess.
The Flaming Lips.
Flaming Lips. They performed a socially distancing show, and they did it inside of bubbles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you have any
let me see if I
footage of that? I want to see.
Yeah, let me see if I have the bubble here. Okay.
Wow. Remember when we went to Epcot and we saw one of the performers in the bubble?
There was
it was
the
a
French
mime.
mime. Yeah,
that was cool.
But this is funny because they actually did this. I'll read you the article on it.
I hope you can't be claustrophobic though doing that kind of activity.
No, you can't. You're right.
I could never do that.
let's see. Okay, so this is is that coming up? Hold on a second. I lost my sheet. Okay. Okay, so this was a group called the Flaming Lips. Many people are wondering when they might be able to see their favorite bands and concerts again. Naturally, the Flaming Lips have a solution to this ongoing problem. Giant Bubbles. The Flaming Lips performed a show in Oklahoma City. So that's out Vizo's way and Danny Griswold's way. On Monday evening, performing in gigantic plastic bubbles, masks, and latex gloves, CNN reported.
Wow.
Fans of the audience also had to have their own bubbles. So there's your bubbles.
Hey, we had RV and joined us. I don't know if I gave him a
them.
shout out. Oh, hello. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm behind the 8 ball here.
So that's an interesting thing. How many of you have heard of this group? How many of you will go to a concert?
What are their names again? The
Flaming Lips had one hit song back in the early 90s called She Don't Use Jelly. It was pretty good. So, Cruise Road, would you be caught in one of those bubbles in the audience there? Are they worth seeing?
Oh, my goodness. All
That's
I can
funny.
think
I've
about
never
is
heard of
that
them.
mime in Epcot that was that we saw in that bubble. How do you blow them up? I guess.
I imagine you get in when they're deflated, probably, right? Like a plastic around you, and then they probably hook something up and blow it up.
Wow.
It's sealed.
And
not sure how you breathe.
Yeah, I was just going to ask that question. I mean, wow.
For a concert, if there couldn't be enough air in there, so there must be something that they're either pumping in every bubble or.
Well, I got to look into that because I want to know how they breathe.
Okay, well, we could check it out.
I'm going to check that out.
If we get a bubble and you could try it out for a while.
I will not get in a bubble. I'll blow bubbles, but I won't get in a bubble. I'll take a bubble bath, but I won't get in a bubble.
Those other ones, though, that you put around, you play soccer and stuff in them, those look like a lot of fun.
Those look fun. I would do that, yeah.
If you're looking at booking a cruise, pay attention here. The cruise line is offering 50% off cruises to the Caribbean in 2021.
Ooh.
MSC is offering Cruises to the Caribbean 50% off or more that include kids' cruise for free on select sailings. The cruise line's trip...
What's considered a kid? Under 12?
Under 12.
Okay.
The cruise line's Trip and Treat promotion started October 14th and runs through the end of the month. So you got to get on it in the next, you have a little while. Next week or week and a half. The cruise ships the sale is good for 4 cruise ships: the MSC Seaside, Divina, Meraviglia, and Ammonia. Itineraries range from 3 to 7 night cruises, and all bookings during the time will save at least 50%.
Oh.
MSC's promo includes at least 50% off the cruises to the Caribbean and Bahamas in 2021. Kids sail free on select cruises, and the sale again is from October 14th, which was a week ago, until October 31st, Halloween.
Brian, NASCAR fan 22, said something about the he's been on the Skyliner. Did you happen to read that comment there?
Probably pull that down. Okay.
The brand new Skyliner?
Brand new Skyliner ride in Disney World Live has been on. I didn't even know the Disneyland. Okay, it's just
Disney World.
I think Disney World's right. It's the only one that has a Skyliner. That's a good idea right there. Guys should do the next stream in a bubble. That would be pretty funny. Imagine if you had access to one, you just sit and do a live inside one.
Oh my gosh. So the Skyliner ride that Brian's talking about.
That's the one that drains the transportation. It's
okay.
Goes from the parks to the resorts to the park and stuff like that.
I do that. Even though I'm a little scared of heights, do that.
It doesn't look like it's that high up, though.
That sounds fun.
Today, if none of you have been watching the news, there were protests, and a bunch of them were scheduled for today. And let's see, part of the push to resume cruises, a number of American ports are expecting protests in an effort to persuade the government to let the cruise industry operate in the U.S. Protests are expected at multiple Florida ports as well as Galveston. Participants are expected to include those from Longshoremen's Union, the ports, airports, cruise lines, ground transportation, hotels, hospitality businesses, agriculture, trade and commerce, and other industries that are supported by the massive cruise line business. So I haven't actually turned on the news today to see how active that is, but I have heard that they are doing it, that this is happening as we speak.
Hey, if we do our next cruise, our next live in a bubble, that might increase our watch hours.
That's true.
They probably want to know how we get in the bubble.
I know.
Do the preparation.
We can do the preparation, right? The pre-bubble stuff.
Pre-bubble stuff.
Okay, Monarch Moments has gone into the transportation, the Skyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't there when we last went. I would like to. I like it just as a ride. I'd sit on there and go from.
I am scared of heights, but I would do it. Yeah, I would do it.
Well, I mean, we go. One of our things is we always try and do the parks every other day. And I think I've mentioned this before. And then we like to resort hop. So what are we to resort hop? We do the monorail, we do the boats. Now we hop in the Skyway.
I know you can get some nice video too.
You could. I do feel for those pier workers. They are so friendly and have totally lost their jobs with this. I know. There's so many jobs that we don't think about either. Like I'm sure that the people behind the food process, there's a lot less food being processed and sold that go directly to the cruise lines, and people out of jobs in those factories and stuff.
Yeah.
That is correct.
It's awful. It's really.
I read Uncle Nancy. Hope they can get back to work.
Yeah,
I know.
Hope so.
I keep saying, just cross your fingers with the new with the election coming up. I still think that's the biggest fear right now.
I know we've all been fortunate in our family that we're all working, and you do feel for those that have lost their jobs and are struggling.
Right. So that's like the highlight news that I got today, and now we thought we'd play we bring up a few little facts. We like to throw something in at the back end of our show, and today we're going to talk about what is it, Nance? It's weird hobbies.
Oh, weird hobbies. Yeah, I'm sorry.
And so be interested if any of you guys have weird hobbies too.
Yeah, weird hobbies, right. I had a brain cramp there.
All right. So
my lack of sleep is catching up.
All right. So let's see. All right. So that's the bubble. We'll get rid of the bubble. All right. So this is the first weird hobby. And how many of you say they can do that?
Oh, wow.
Playing dead.
Playing dead.
There's an actual guy, Chuck Lamb, who's 47 years old, is the dead body guy. Probably has the world's strangest hobby. He likes to play dead. If that's not enough, he takes it one step further. He takes photos and videotapes himself playing dead and posts them on his website.
He posts them on his website.
And that's not, I think this is the actual guy right here. This is the actual guy that does it. The other one's probably a copycat serial play dead guy.
He's not the real dead guy.
No.
The fake dead guy.
Let's see.
That's a weird hobby. That is a very strange hobby.
Oh, work is a blessing. You're right about that. You went through a scare a week ago. Anthony lost his job.
Oh, that's right.
So they went through a few scares in the last week.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad everyone is doing well in your family and people are healthier and working. That's all good.
And her daughter looks as lively as anything. She keeps popping in the live.
All right. I think the Hitchhiking Bones just joined us. Hello.
Nancy said, is YouTube creator considered a weird hobby? I'm sure about 4 years ago it was.
It probably was. Yeah. They're like, what?
But not now.
No.
Yeah, that's probably true. That first guy here, he's saying that.
What did he say?
He was probably not trying to do the playing dead. He was probably copying the peeping Tom. Doesn't look like.
Well, he has his binoculars. Yeah, he has poor vision too.
I didn't pick up on that, but you're probably right. Welcome, Hitchhiking Bones. Thank you for joining us.
He probably was a peeping Tom.
We just finished our news, and we're now doing weird hobbies. So if you have any weird hobbies, throw it up here. Okay, the next weird hobby. And this one is appearing in the background on TV. Paul Harrow, who is a guy, I don't know if I can point him out, but in South London, definitely has a weird hobby. He likes to appear on television. So whenever a news crew shows up or he hears about it, he hangs out in the background on the camera. He has appeared in the background on BBC, ITV, Channel 4, and Sky at random locations at random times. Now, I don't know what I can... I don't think you can see my mouse here, but if you look at the announcer in the front of the screen, he is a guy in the back. On the top one, he's reading the newspaper. The second one, he's kind of small. He's in a blue coat.
I'm surprised he doesn't do rabbit ears.
He's got a white shirt on the left, over the left shoulder.
He should do the rabbit ears like this.
Yeah, that's right. Brian said, I'm hoping and praying to God that we get a COVID vaccine and this virus once and for all. I know. Even when that's going to come, it's going to be a while. But you're right. We got to start somewhere.
I'm hoping and praying too, Brian. This is going to end soon.
I actually think that crochet and knitting is getting to be a weird hobby too. Nancy, one of our last slides, I won't ruin it for you right now, but there is a crochet and knitting weird hobby.
Oh, there is. Yeah, you'll laugh. So hang on.
That'll be my
not
spoiler.
That was a weird hobby. That woman crocheted.
Okay, this one is I guess you consider it weird. Giving away $10 bills to strangers. Reed Sandridge lost his job last year and took up a new hobby. He gives away $10 bills every day to someone who looks as if they could use it.
Well, usually when people lose their job, they hang on to their money, not give it away.
That's a strange thing.
That's a very strange thing. They pinch pennies. They don't.
I know. So if any of you have been given $10 by a stranger, it was probably, what's the guy's name? Reed Sandridge.
Hey, he figures if he's poor, he might as well be poorer, right?
Right. Okay, next weird. Still not seeing any weird hobbies from our chat. Let's see. It's Nancy. She's waiting for her knitting thing.
She's waiting for her crochet, weird crochet hobby.
Nice. That is a nice thing to do. Okay, so the next weird hobby is mooing.
Mooing. I heard.
Okay, mooing. When it comes to mooing, 10-year-old Austin Seock is an expert. The Dyer Intermediate School fifth grader won an annual mooing contest at the Wisconsin State Fair.
Who knew there was such a
Nancy,
thing?
did you happen to see this?
Wisconsin. Maybe Nancy knows this person.
Because he sounded more like a real cow than 80 contestant participants. So,
wow, they had that many participants.
Nancy, I'll share the picture of him. This is what's his name? Austin Seock. Let me know if you recognize him.
That they had so many contestants. That's pretty good.
It is. But I guess that Wisconsin.
Now I know what you guys do in Wisconsin. You knit weird crochet items and you moo.
Next weird item is, sure it's on my picture here. Yeah.
Oh, I said you knit weird crochet items. I mean, you make strange crochet items. I said that wrong. Oh.
Nancy does not know him.
I'm overtired.
Hitchhiking bones. My mother collected rocks from vacation spots. Does that count? She puts them in her flower bed as decorations. Well, if it does, Nancy, you're one of the
I have that same hobby. I do the same thing.
Actually, you collect three things. We have a yard full of driftwood.
Driftwood I collect.
Shells. Actually, four things. Coral. And rocks.
Yep, I do. I do. I collect the rocks too and put them in my garden. I think that's really cool.
So you can imagine the area around our patio, how decorated it is. So I guess maybe you do fit into that.
I guess I do. I didn't think it was weird to get a rock from a vacation spot. I never thought that was weird at all.
Well, this is ecstasy pills. A Dutch man has spent 2 decades collecting ecstasy pills of all colors and shapes as a hobby. He's collected over 2,400 pills, which was in his collection. But guess what happened to his collection?
It got confiscated.
No, I think, most people probably say he could get arrested for it.
Yeah.
No, the entire collection was stolen.
Oh, my gosh.
So he probably put it online and someone thought, well, that's a great place to hit.
Wow. That's a weird thing to, I can't understand that one.
Look at all the pretty colors. So we got to do something during the winters. Your winters are probably as bad as ours in New Hampshire, I'm guessing. Who was it that had? I saw a video that he just got snow last night. Oh, Tommy Travels had some video of. They got their first snowstorm yesterday.
Oh, well.
What was our earliest on Halloween?
Yeah, we had Frankenstorm, they called it, because we got like 30 inches on Halloween. So they nicknamed it Frankenstorm. Oh, bye, Hitchhiking Bones. Thanks for joining us.
Tyler, welcome in. I mentioned you earlier. Did you say that you had gone to, what was it called now? No, I can't
We went to Lego?
No. What was it called?
Fun Spot?
Fun Spot in Orlando. We just read the thing earlier how they were cited again for the third time of violating the masking policy there. So I was wondering what you thought of it when you went. So I'm not sure if that's the place you had talked about or not. But welcome in either way. Thanks for joining us, Hitchhiking Bones.
And tell your mom I have the same hobby as her. That's a good hobby.
Michigan winters, yeah, no picnic either. Oh, I know you get a lot of that. Don't you get the lake effect snows too on top of? Hey, that's not strange. Hitchhiking Bones. Plus, you can save money on rocks.
That's right.
We've got many rocks just to use for borders around.
Yes, I even got a rock from my son's college.
Yes, that was.
I did.
That's what scared me when she was starting to take stuff out of places like the local college.
He goes, "Don't take that." I go, "No, but this has meaning."
Like, what if you get caught? That would be pretty embarrassing.
Both my kids went to
Probably
the same.
Out of school.
Well, both my kids went to the same university, so I had to get a rock from them.
Okay, so I think of the Fun Spot. Did you notice any issues with the masking policy there? Were they trying to enforce protocols? Because that was the article I read earlier that they've been, for the third time, they've been cited. I'm not sure why they're still open. You'd think they'd close them down until they abide by the rules. Mm. Okay, the next, we are doing weird hobbies in case anyone's interested. If you have weird hobbies, I'd still like to see them. I haven't seen any that I really consider weird hobbies yet. Okay. I
think the crocheting one is kind of a weird one. Oh, well, I guess it's not weird.
I think the crocheting community on YouTube is bigger than the cruising one, from what I heard.
Well, I guess that's not a weird one because it does serve as a purpose. So
this guy.
This is strange.
It's called Tattooing Vehicles. A Taiwanese pensioner covers every inch of his 4 vehicles with virtuous words from the Buddhist text.
Wow.
Li Zongxing, 71, a workshop owner, started to tattoo his car, 2 trucks, and motorbike in 1999. And this is him. I don't know if that's him, because the next picture I think is him, and that's the car.
Wow.
And okay, this is the guy here. So maybe that was him in the first. So he was doing the car here. And then you can see his 2 trucks in the background, all tattooed. You can see his car behind him and his bike.
That's very strange. All Buddhist texts.
Yeah.
And does he tattoo him? Does he do the work himself?
Yeah, he's doing it himself. In fact, I think that's a picture of him right there doing working on his car. Did that car look like the same as that car? I don't know. Maybe he did.
That's a very strange hobby indeed.
Okay. This is a weird. This guy here looks kind of like a guilty guy, doesn't he? Suing, despite being incarcerated at the federal prison in Kentucky, Jonathan Lee Riches has made it into the Guinness Book of World Records. He was named as a person who has filed the most lawsuits ever. Oh, so what did he do next? Can you guess who he did next? Who he sued?
He sued
the folks at Guinness Book of World Records.
Oh, he sued the folks at, well, of course. I should have saw that one coming. I'm not as sharp today.
He does look like he feels bad about it, though, doesn't he?
Oh.
All right.
I think they nicknamed him Sue. He's a boy named Sue.
Yeah, I think.
They changed his name to a boy named Sue.
Okay. Next weird hobby.
This is strange. I don't like
Imagine
this
the time
one.
with grooming
No,
dogs. That's not
a good way
it's
to.
not a tiger in the picture, but a
Animals.
dog dyed to look like a tiger. That picture's coming up. It's an example of a growing hobby. So it's becoming popular in
It
China.
is?
So it won't make this list probably next year. Dyeing and trimming dogs' hair so that they look like different animals. The Chinese were very quick to embrace this bizarre trend. So anyone from China in there that has done this, I'd like to know. So if you look at this dog, it's got it looks like a hammerhead shark in the front. I don't know what that green thing is.
I think that's kind of cruel. I don't know.
I don't think they're hurting the dog.
No,
People
but,
have their dogs groomed all the time.
Well, but yeah, he does look stupid. Monarch Moments, that man who sued everybody.
With an idiot, yeah.
He said, yeah,
He looks
an idiot.
stupid. That is true. That's a very good point.
I don't know how.
He will probably sue us next.
Oh no! Oh no! I'd like to know the dye that they're putting in on these dogs. Are they safe?
Oh, you can imagine they are.
I mean, what if they have
That's
chemicals?
not a tattoo dog.
What if they have chemicals
Look at that.
that harm them? I mean,
Just look at that.
I
The
don't
head
know.
looks like a sheep.
I don't like that.
The body looks like I don't know, a dinosaur or something.
I mean, maybe the dye washes out after so many
I don't know.
baths and stuff. Maybe it is safe. I don't know.
Okay, here's an update from Tyler on Jan Travels. The work is with him, and now due to that, Florida is in phase 3. I believe legally now you can't get fined for not wearing one.
Oh,
That's why I
really?
never required one when they first reopened. Okay, so that's the dates I read out earlier. Well, the last date was like in September, so that's probably why. They're probably within the legal limits now because they can't be fined. And didn't the governor down there absolve any past fines also? So they're probably going to get away with all those too.
Yes.
Do you notice most places how you're in Florida are people wearing masks and considering other people's feelings, or are they just kind of going around willy-nilly?
I didn't know how much were the fines. Were they like above 200?
No, they didn't have the fines.
Oh,
they said they
didn't.
were cited, meaning they got the fine. Like he's saying, they probably never had to pay them because now they're in the stage where they can do anything. So it'd be interesting to know that.
Yeah, that would be.
Okay, and this is a dog that referred to as looked like the.
It's quite artistic. I mean,
that's the one that looks like a tiger.
That's well done.
Cool looking,
it is cool looking. The others I don't like as much. This one is cool looking.
It does look like though. It's like you lay there and you dye it and cut it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with that. A dog's a dog.
Good topic, guys, or anything. Thank you. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you haven't. We'd appreciate that. Okay, next hobby is, and this is one I think we've all heard about.
Yeah.
Many of us have probably wanted to do it too. Riding roller coasters. A 78-year-old man rode a Pittsburgh area roller coaster 90 times in one day, bringing his lifetime total of 4,000 rides.
Wow.
Vic Kleeman spent about 5 hours on a Jackrabbit roller coaster at Kennywood Park in West Mifflin. So I don't know if anyone's heard of that park or been to that park.
Where is that park?
It's in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Okay.
But we all hear stories of stuff, even Disney especially. Some will go on there and they'll stay on one ride all day and see how many they can do and go back and do more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Cruise World. I would crap my pants if that tiger dog was running my way. Yeah, it reminds me of the bear we had in our other video. It's just, how close we have to get before you realize it wasn't a real tiger.
Right. Monarch Moments said, good topic, very entertaining. Yeah, I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was interesting. Yeah.
Probably scare people if it's a real tiger. Absolutely. Because it looks like a small tiger.
It does. And
you're going to stand there and see if there's a dog? Yes.
No.
In fact, that would be a great way to pull a prank on someone. Do your cat or your dog as some kind of weird animal and just see how it scares people. But yeah, I think we've all done a lot, multiple rides on particular rides 4,000. That's probably a lot, I guess.
I don't know, but it didn't. I wonder what the world record is. You'd have to look.
Yeah,
that
you know,
up.
that's the thing too. It probably isn't even a world
No, it
record.
probably isn't.
Okay, this is for you, Nance.
Here you go, Nancy. Get your crochet needles out. You might be requested to crochet one of these.
Yes, that's right. Put your nursing and your crocheting together.
Yes.
Knitting breast. A Sussex octogenarian, am I pronouncing that right? Has an unusual hobby, knitting woolen breast. Audrey
Is it knitting
Horncastle.
or crocheting?
This is knitting.
This is knitting.
But I'm sure you
Okay.
crochet them too.
Okay.
Audrey Horncastle gives her woolly breast to her daughter, a community nurse, to help teach new moms to breastfeed. The 84-year-old from Woodingdean near Brighton has churned out more than 100 knitted breasts in a little more than 3 years.
Wow.
It takes a long time to do a breast.
Wow.
Now that's her starting, and that's her finished product.
Wow. Look at that.
So I guess that's mom on the left who's done, would she say, over 100 breasts in 3 years, and that's her daughter, the nurse on the right.
And that helps nursing mothers.
There's so many comments I could make here that probably are in bad taste. So we'll just leave it alone.
Well, what do you think of these? Oh, they're helping nursing mothers. So
Thank you very much for joining us, Cruise World.
bye, Cruise World.
Okay.
How are these things thought of? Like, who had thought of knitting a breast?
You know, her daughter probably came home one day and said something like, something about it, that no problems. And her mother said, I could probably knit something like that, and you could bring it in.
Wow.
I'm guessing, who knows? Around the Thanksgiving table, the topic came up. Let's see. Wait a minute.
I wonder if she knits different sizes. I'll give you a 34B.
It's the tail of the person. They all look the same size on that one, yeah.
Look at, wow.
So
I don't know. Have you ever heard of something like this, Nurse Nancy?
She actually has. Have heard of this.
She has. Okay.
All right.
I thought it was interesting. It's helping people. I think that's a good thing. And it probably gives the octogenarian a purpose.
Yeah.
And she's helping people, and she must not have any arthritis in those fingers because she must be knitting quite a lot.
100 over, that's 33 a year,
Oh, okay.
So, maybe she just does it very slow pace. Okay, here's Tyler's update. Down here, we're talking in Florida, people all over wearing masks at theme parks, as that's what I hear from time at the parks. In my personal opinion, I think that the parks should not have to enforce folks to wear masks. Well, isn't Disney World right now? I thought I had read that they are actually they've gone to the next level because people have been taking advantage of it and actually throwing people out of the park if they're not wearing the mask.
What do you, okay, let me.
You want to see it again?
Yeah.
Can you read it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, and then they follow up. People should be able to. And it is a private park, and Disney does want to protect people. So, and they're probably, they're acting nice, but it could be a simple thing with lawsuits. They don't want someone going back and suing down the road saying they got it from Disney World because Disney World wasn't enforcing it. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I bet there are a lot of crocheters who would do this to help others. Also for ladies who have, yeah, you're right about that. I don't know if crocheting would be the best way. I mean, they probably come out with ones that are made of rubber and different things like that.
Oh, right.
That these might be,
those
itchy, I guess, too, right?
Yeah.
But you're right. It's a good hobby.
Yeah.
At least it helps out.
To help those people.
Yes, they have ejected people for not wearing masks at Walt Disney World. Okay. Monarch Moments. Have you been to Disney World? I guess it would have to be. It was closed, so it would have to be since they reopened. All right, let's see. Yeah, has anyone in the chat here? I know Tyler has. Has anyone else been to Disney World? And I'd love to get their opinion on or any park in Florida. I know that some people have been up to that theme park in Branson there.
Oh yeah, that's Silver Dollar
Yeah,
World,
Silver Dollar.
I think it's called.
But if anyone wants to share any kind of a story from the theme parks since they reopened, any theme park would be great. Let's see. All right, so Monarch went last December. I went to Walt Disney and did the Disney. Oh, all right. That's nice. So you did it just before, because the close down happened in March, right?
Yeah, it happened in March.
So they did it. We were one of the last ones to be on the Disney cruise, probably. Well,
oh wow,
a couple
that's
months
nice.
after them. That's really nice.
That is really nice. Yeah.
Tyler Show. Anyway, I have to get back to the hustle of all things YouTube. Have a great rest of the day.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us, Tyler.
Bye, Tyler. Thanks for joining us.
The journey awaits. I could not wear a mask in the hot weather. So we are Disney in January. We will wear masks. Yeah. I mean, what was a park? And I think it was Disney, or maybe even Disneyland or Disney World, but they were saying that they wouldn't use that as an excuse anymore, as people can't breathe in the mask.
Oh, really?
Medical things, that they would just tell them come back when the policies change.
Oh, really?
I forget what it was on, if it was on a cruise ship or one of the parks.
Oh, I think Hugh Studios just joined us. Hello.
How you doing?
How you doing?
But yeah, that's tough if you have problems wearing it. We have gotten used to it a little bit.
I have to wear one for 8 hours, so I've gotten used to it.
And I wear one, but I sneak out and take it off to breathe. But
the only thing
we're getting more used to it. Wearing the mask is not bad. No, it's not getting used to it, unless you have issues. Some people do have to have that open air, but unless you have issues, it isn't that bad.
It's not that bad.
Well, it hasn't been for us. I shouldn't speak for other people.
When my shift is over, I'm happy to take it off. Yeah. That's for sure.
Last time I was in Disney was January before the virus hit. Okay. There aren't a lot of people that, I guess it's mostly just Florida residents have been to Disney World since they reopened because of travel. You forget the travel. I am fine, thank you. How are you doing?
We're doing good.
We are doing weird hobbies.
If you just joined us, we're doing weird hobbies.
The last one, if you're wondering why you're seeing breasts on the screen, this is the family channel. That is a mother on the left who is knitting those for people. Her daughter is on the right, is a nurse, and she gives them people who need them for, like, mastectomies. What was it?
Well, for nursing mothers.
That was it, nursing mothers, right?
Yes, she trains nursing mothers. And Nancy pointed out it would be good for people who had mastectomies. And, those prostheses are very expensive. And I know I've worked with people who've had mastectomies, and those are, and I've seen how much those prostheses are. So if you could use one of those.
Okay, let's see. Like moments of people complaining, showing health issues I see on the news sure have a lot of wind to yell at people. Hardly think they have the health issues. Not talking about people with legitimate issues. No, you're absolutely right. Well, and it's basically a lot of people out there that just want to take the opposite approach, and they could kill us. I mean, these ones, our government, for example, the ones that are just saying, don't wear it, and then everyone around them gets infected. It's just so they can draw the line in the sand. I think we all know that wearing the mask does help. So, okay, so our next.
Oh, this is strange.
They could probably guess what. Unfortunately, I was going to have them guess what that was, but
what? Oh,
but it's actually written on the jar.
It's written on the jar. Oh.
This is naval fluff collecting. Graham Barker collects his own naval fluff. He has a Guinness Book World Record. Recognized his collection.
A Guinness Book.
Yeah, collecting of the stuff for more than 20 years. Imagine 20 years of naval. Wow. He started in 1984. Keeps it all in carefully labeled jars.
He must have an innie, not an outie, because he collects a lot.
Yeah, you're right. That's a very good point. Yeah, it would just blow away, right?
I think so. He must have a big innie.
Now, I don't
He
know
collects
why.
a lot of nails.
Well, the interesting thing, why are they different colors? Why are they different colors? That's
Well, whatever.
Does he take it out and dye it so that it looks
No,
pretty?
whatever material he's wearing. It comes from material.
But you think, would you have enough of each color to fill a whole guy? I mean,
yeah.
I guess if you do it for, what do we say, 30 years, I guess?
Yeah, I don't know where he's, I heard people.
Nurse Nancy thinks it's yucky.
Yeah, I think so too.
Nice fluff.
Nice fluff.
Nurse Nancy says that's just wrong.
Don't ask him for a fluffernutter sandwich.
Yeah, mistake for what you say.
Don't ask him for a peanut butter and fluffernutter sandwich. You might get some of his own personal fluff.
And our last weird hobby. Actually, I'm going to just give it a moment, see if, before I say what it is, see if anyone can guess what he's doing. This is actually a hobby. I don't even know how you can do this, but it is supposedly a hobby. Can anyone guess what weird hobby this guy does? Okay. You know what he's doing, Nance?
I have
Did I show this to you before?
You did show it to me before.
Don't guess it,
I don't remember now. I don't remember what it is. You did show it to me and you did tell me, and
well, his weird hobby is.
Did anybody guess?
No one guessed it. So his weird hobby is
Did anybody guess?
Nurse Nancy says cooking on an inner tube. You're right. It is one of the things around the house, but that's not it. I mean, you're close. Not that you're right. Okay, it's an extreme ironers. Not entirely serious about their hobby. It's as much about exploration, hiking, climbing, and other physical activities normal people get a hobby to avoid, as it is actually pressing a shirt, even though they do have a world championship.
That is strange.
Yeah, so this is...
that is really strange.
So he's ironing, he's on an inner tube and he's ironing, and this one here is actually ironing underwater. Don't ask me where that electric cord is going.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
And I guess they do this on mountaintops. They take this stuff out in deserts and every place else. They just go to extreme places to do it.
Well, it's a nice, clean hobby, not like collecting your fluff.
Yeah, that's right. Rather do this than collect your
nasal fluff.
That's true. Okay. So that is, we covered the news. If anyone has any questions or wants to throw anything out there before we get off the air. So we have the news, which we covered, and we have extreme hobbies. We do not come on live this Sunday. We come on live again a week from Sunday.
A week from Sunday, yeah.
Let's see. See if there's any other notes in the chat. That's something I will not be doing anytime I hate to iron.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, we have 2 irons in this house, and they don't really get used, do they?
No, I just remember when our son was in police academy and he had to starch everything and we had to iron everything and it had to be perfect. Oh my goodness, that was so stressful.
That was the weirdest thing. I know.
That was weird.
Home, that was 6 weeks, 8 weeks?
8 weeks. And we went through so many cans of starch because he had to have everything perfect.
Be perfect, like the military. The way they do in New Hampshire is you have to do it. It's along the military guidelines.
Yes, it is.
One of the stricter, but you don't think of that for New Hampshire. It's one of the stricter police academies.
Yeah, that iron board was never used as much.
Hey, Blaine, how you doing?
Weeks. Hi, Blaine.
So, Blaine, if you want to throw, we went through the news and we did some weird hobbies. And just looking now if there's any feedback from anyone or if anyone wants to talk about anything before we call this a day. Like I said, we come back in 2 weeks from Sunday. We will be here next Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
At 2:00. Yours is a week after, isn't it?
Oh, all right.
I think we'll keep an eye open for our thumbnails.
One Wednesday we're not going to be able to make because of a conflict.
Yeah. What we're going to do it at noon instead.
Oh, that's true.
Can anyone guess what those little creatures behind us are? Forgot they were even there. But yeah, so we're all just waiting. There's Nancy and the crew. Anyone else that's going down to Mexico?
Yeah,
Have a great time. Have a safe time.
Monarch Moments says he feels like he or she feels like they have normal hobbies now. Are we talking to Garrett or Michelle?
I think it's Garrett.
Garrett.
Thanks for stream, guys. Feel like I have normal hobbies. Yeah, I know. Now anything we do just seems normal.
I know, really.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, don't like.
Now, what's your next travel plan, Jan?
Oh boy,
we're looking.
Good question.
Well, we're basically just eyeing cruises and doing research on cruises next October.
Yeah.
We're going to do a Halloween cruise, but yeah, that's about it. We're still a little tentative. We're going to try and take a ride tomorrow down to the main Yankee Candle place in Deerfield, Mass, and try and get some footage down there and just finally get a day away from the house. Because all we've been doing when we leave the house is going to work, really, right?
Just working. Yeah, not much of anything.
That's correct. Those are the minions. Can you name every one of them? Okay. Okay, enjoy you guys. Be safe, wash your hands, and wear a mask.
That's
You're
right.
correct. All right.
So far, we're doing good.
So, just cruises, welcome in. We're about to head out, but thank you for popping in anyways. So I guess that's it, Nance, right?
I guess that's it.
All right.
Everybody stay young and have fun.
And have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.